Let me start by telling you this. Success is not some magical moment that happens to a lucky few. It's not about waiting for the stars to align. Success is built brick by brick with every single action you take each day. And the foundation of those actions is your habits. Success is not a single event, a lucky break, or a sudden moment of achievement. It is the culmination of the habits we consistently practice every day. The difference between those who rise to the top and those who remain stagnant often boils down to the small, seemingly insignificant actions that they perform on a daily basis. These actions compound over time, creating a trajectory that leads either toward success or toward mediocrity. If you want to achieve great things, you need to recognize that your daily habits are the building blocks of your future success. Every single decision you make, whether conscious or unconscious, shapes your destiny. The way you wake up in the morning, the habits you implement during your day, and the choices you make in your personal and professional life are all part of a larger system that determines where you will end up. It's easy to underestimate the power of small habits, but it's the consistent, repeated actions over time that ultimately lead to massive results. The ability to consistently make the right choices, even in small things, is what separates high achievers from those who fail to reach their potential. For instance, waking up early might seem like a simple act, but it's the foundation for the rest of the day. It sets the tone for productivity, discipline, and focus. Those who wake up early are often the ones who get ahead, not because they have more time, but because they use the time they have more effectively. What they do with that extra hour or two in the morning, the habits they form around those moments, sets them up for success in ways others can't even see. These habits are often invisible, but they make all the difference in the long run. It's important to realize that success doesn't come from grand gestures or major leaps. It comes from the small habitual actions that you do repeatedly. These daily actions might not seem like they're moving the needle in the short term, but over time, they build momentum. Habits like setting goals, tracking progress, and working on personal development might seem like small tasks, but when they become second nature, they add up to something much larger. It's about creating a life where success is a natural outcome of your habits rather than a random event that you stumble upon. When you commit to developing good habits, you start to notice small wins that accumulate into larger victories. The consistent pursuit of excellence in small things leads to greater success in bigger endeavors. Each small habit you build, whether it's a morning routine, a disciplined approach to your finances, or simply reading for self-improvement, becomes a brick in the foundation of your success. These habits don't just help you achieve your goals, they help you grow as a person. They shift your mindset, alter your behavior, and transform the way you approach life. But it's also crucial to understand that bad habits work in the same way. A bad habit, no matter how small, compounds just like a good one. The habit of procrastination, for example, might seem harmless in the moment, but over time, it creates a pattern that leads to missed opportunities and unfulfilled potential. The habit of avoiding discomfort can keep you stuck, never pushing you to break through the barriers that hold you back. These bad habits silently erode your chances for success and prevent you from reaching your true potential. The problem with bad habits is that they're often harder to recognize, but their consequences are far-reaching. The danger lies in allowing bad habits to persist unnoticed, thinking they don't matter in the short term. Over time, however, these habits accumulate, and you'll find yourself in a position where the impact of your choices becomes undeniable. You'll wonder how you got to where you are, and the answer will lie in the habits you allowed to shape your life. The same way good habits lead to success, bad habits lead to failure. But it's not always immediately success and failure are often invisible at first, but over time, they reveal themselves through the choices we make every day. To create lasting success, you need to develop a heightened awareness of your habits. What you do today, no matter how small it may seem, is shaping your future. Every day is an opportunity to reinforce the habits that will lead to success or to break free from the bad habits that hold you back. This is the power of habit. It's not just about making big, sweeping changes in your life. It's about consistently choosing the right actions day in and day out until they become second nature. The road to success is paved with discipline and consistency. Every time you choose to engage in a positive habit, whether it's reading a book, exercising, planning your day, or practicing gratitude, you are strengthening the foundation for your future. These actions become part of your identity. You begin to see yourself as someone who is disciplined, focused, and productive. And this shift in self-perception reinforces the positive cycle, making it easier and more natural to keep up those habits in the future. It's time to take control of your habits. Success is not something that happens to you. It's something you create through the small decisions you make each day. If you want to achieve greatness, you need to focus on the habits you form, because those habits will be the ones that ultimately determine whether you succeed or fail. Don't wait for success to find you. Create it, one habit at a time. Every choice you make, no matter how small it may seem in the moment, has the potential to shape your future. We often think of success as something that happens overnight or as a result of a few big decisions. However, the truth is that success is a collection of choices, daily decisions that, when made consistently, build upon one another to create the life you desire. Whether you realize it or not, every choice you make, from the food you eat to the people you surround yourself with, is shaping the trajectory of your life. When you wake up in the morning, you're faced with a series of choices. Do you hit snooze and give in to the temptation of more sleep, or do you rise early to get a head start on your day? That choice, although seemingly insignificant, sets the tone for your entire day. The way you choose to start your morning, whether with intention or procrastination, has a ripple effect on how productive and focused you will be throughout the rest of the day. And over time, those morning choices become ingrained habits that either propel you towards success or hold you back from reaching your potential. Your choices also extend to how you manage your time. Every day you are presented with opportunities to invest your time in ways that will either bring you closer to your goals or push you further away. Do you spend your free time scrolling through social media, or do you dedicate it to learning, improving, and growing? The choices you make with your time determine the direction of your life. Those who are successful have learned to guard their time fiercely, choosing to invest it in activities that will yield long-term benefits, while avoiding distractions and time-wasting habits. But it's not just about how you spend your time. The people you choose to surround yourself with have an even greater impact on your future. We often underestimate the influence of our social circles, but the truth is that the people you associate with will either elevate or diminish your potential. If you surround yourself with individuals who are committed to growth, success, and positivity, their energy will fuel your own ambition. On the other hand, if you choose to spend your time with negative, complacent individuals, you'll find that their mindset and behaviors begin to seep into your own. The people you spend your time with shape your mindset, your habits, and ultimately your success. Your choices also affect your mindset. Every time you face a challenge, you are presented with a decision. Will you embrace the discomfort and use it as an opportunity to grow, or will you shy away from it and settle for what's easy? The way you approach challenges is a direct reflection of the choices you make in the face of adversity. People who are successful understand that growth happens when they step out of their comfort zone, when they choose to embrace the discomfort that comes with pushing their limits. These choices build resilience, strengthen character, and lead to greater achievements. Financial choices are another area where decisions can have a lasting impact on your future. How you manage your money today will directly influence your financial freedom tomorrow. Do you make impulsive purchases and live paycheck to paycheck, or do you practice discipline by saving and investing for the future? Every dollar you earn is a choice. You can either spend it on temporary pleasures or invest it in assets that will appreciate in value. Successful people understand that the choices they make with their money today determine their financial security in the future. They prioritize long-term gains over short-term gratification and make intentional choices to create wealth. Health choices are equally important. The decisions you make today about what you eat, how often you exercise, and how you manage stress will affect your physical and mental well-being for years to come. Choosing to adopt a healthy lifestyle might require effort and discipline in the short term, but the rewards are far-reaching. A healthy body and mind are essential for sustained success. If you neglect your health, you risk burnout and hinder your ability to perform at your highest level. On the other hand, choosing to prioritize your health through regular exercise, balanced nutrition, and proper rest sets you up for long-term success in every area of life. The choices you make about your personal development are also critical. Do you choose to invest in learning and growing, or do you remain content with your current knowledge and skills? People who succeed continuously strive to improve themselves. They make a conscious choice to read books, take courses, attend seminars, and surround themselves with knowledge. They understand that in order to reach the next level, they must constantly evolve. Personal development is not something that happens by chance. It's the result of intentional choices made every day to improve, grow, and challenge oneself. In addition to the internal choices you make, there are external choices that influence your future, such as the career path you choose and the opportunities you decide to pursue. Every job, project, and partnership you take on is a decision that shapes your life's direction. Do you take the safe route, or do you step out and take risks that can lead to greater rewards? Successful people understand the importance of making bold choices, of stepping into opportunities that challenge them and force them to grow. They don't settle for the status quo. They choose to pursue the path that will bring them the greatest fulfillment, even if it requires stepping into the unknown. The choices you make about your attitude and your perspective are among the most powerful decisions you'll ever make. Will you choose to see challenges as obstacles, or will you view them as opportunities for growth? Will you allow setbacks to discourage you, or will you choose to keep moving forward with a positive mindset? Your attitude determines how you respond to life circumstances. People who choose optimism, perseverance, and a growth mindset are the ones who overcome adversity and achieve success. Your attitude is the lens through which you view the world, and your choices and how you respond to challenges can either propel you toward your goals or keep you stuck. The choices you make today, both big and small, will ultimately shape your tomorrow. Every decision you make is a building block of your future. It's easy to think that the small daily choices don't matter, but in reality, they are the most important decisions you'll ever make. Your choices have the power to create the life you desire or to keep you trapped in a cycle of mediocrity. The key is to make intentional, conscious decisions every day that align with the future you want to create. Habits are the silent architects of success. What many people fail to realize is that the small, consistent actions we take every day compound over time to create results far greater than the sum of their individual parts. The power of habits lies not in the immediate rewards they provide, but in the cumulative impact they have when practiced consistently. Habits, when properly aligned with our goals, lead to exponential growth. This is because they build momentum and lay the groundwork for continuous improvement, which is the key to sustainable success. Without habits that support growth, we may find ourselves stuck, despite having the potential for greatness. Exponential growth doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of tiny, deliberate actions repeated day after day. Think about the habits that top performers consistently practice, such as setting goals, prioritizing tasks, and focusing on personal development. These habits may seem small in isolation, but when compounded over months or even years, they produce extraordinary results. A single small act of reading a few pages of a book every day may not seem like much, but over time, it could add up to a vast knowledge base that can significantly enhance your career or personal life. This is the magic of habits. They work slowly, silently, and powerfully behind the scenes, turning consistent effort into large-scale achievement. Consider the habit of exercise. At first, working out might feel like an insignificant effort, just another hour spent at the gym or perhaps a short jog in the morning. However, when this habit is repeated over time, its effects multiply. Over the course of months, you'll notice improvements in your physical health, energy levels, and mental clarity. In the long run, those hours spent training build a strong, healthy body that supports every other aspect of your life. The key to exponential growth here is the consistency. It's the act of showing up each day, even when you don't feel like it, that turns ordinary exercise into extraordinary results. Habits also function as the foundation for personal and professional growth. If you build a habit of reading, not only do you become more knowledgeable, but you also create the opportunity for continuous learning. Every day you invest in your education, you are adding a new layer of understanding and skill to your repertoire. Over time, this habit of learning becomes a powerful tool for advancement. As you accumulate knowledge, you can apply it in new ways, make better decisions, and adapt quickly to changing circumstances. The more you learn, the more you grow, and the more equipped you are to tackle new challenges and seize opportunities. Even seemingly simple habits like maintaining a clean workspace can have a profound effect on your productivity. When you establish routines that promote cleanliness and order, your mental clarity and ability to focus improve. A clean and organized environment helps reduce distractions, creating a space where you can think, plan, and execute more effectively. The habit of staying organized doesn't just make things look good on the surface, it sets the stage for increased efficiency and effectiveness, allowing you to get more done in less time. Over time, the impact of these habits adds up, leading to exponential growth in your personal and professional life. The compound effect of habits is most evident in the way they shape your mindset. Every time you choose to practice a positive habit, such as gratitude or mindfulness, you are reinforcing a mindset that is focused on growth and abundance. At first, it may feel like a small shift. A single moment of gratitude or a few minutes of meditation might seem insignificant, but the more you practice these habits, the more they shape your perspective. Over time, these small, positive habits turn into a mindset that empowers you to tackle challenges, see opportunities where others see obstacles, and persevere when things get tough. This shift in mindset is one of the most powerful drivers of exponential growth. In the world of business and entrepreneurship, the power of habits is especially evident. Successful entrepreneurs don't just rely on talent or intelligence, they rely on their ability to cultivate habits that lead to continuous improvement. Whether it's developing the habit of networking, consistently refining their skills, or sticking to a schedule, these entrepreneurs understand that success is the result of consistently showing up and putting in the work. Over time, these habits help them build relationships, generate ideas, and refine their business strategies, leading to exponential growth in their careers and financial success. What makes habits even more powerful is their ability to work in the background. You don't need to consciously think about every little task or action when you have habits in place. They automate success. For instance, someone who has the habit of saving money automatically puts away a portion of their income each month without thinking twice. Someone who has a habit of writing every day doesn't struggle to come up with ideas. The act of writing becomes automatic, allowing them to produce more content and grow their influence faster. In this way, habits free up mental energy and time, allowing you to focus on higher level tasks while the foundational work is being handled on autopilot. Even setbacks and failures become opportunities for growth when you have the right habits in place. Everyone experiences failure, but those who have the habit of perseverance don't let setbacks define them. They use these failures as learning experiences, and they continue to push forward. It's the habit of persistence that allows you to overcome obstacles and continue moving toward your goals. The difference between those who achieve success and those who don't is often not talent or intelligence, but the ability to bounce back from failure and keep going. This resilience is built through the habit of not giving up. One of the most powerful aspects of habits is their ability to compound in all areas of life. When you build positive habits in one area, they often spill over into other parts of your life. For example, someone who develops the habit of exercising regularly may also find that they have more energy and focus at work. The discipline of exercising carries over to other habits, such as being punctual, managing time more effectively, and making healthier decisions in other areas of life. And in this way, habits don't just create growth in one area, they create a ripple effect that leads to exponential growth in all areas of life. The beauty of habits is that they don't require grand gestures to be effective. Small, consistent actions, when performed regularly, create results that are far greater than the initial effort. The habit of writing a few words each day can eventually lead to a published book. The habit of saving a small percentage of your income can eventually lead to financial independence. It's the consistent effort, compounded over time, that produces exponential growth. The secret to success is not doing one big thing. It's doing many small things, day in and day out, and letting the power of those habits take you to places you could never have imagined. Bad habits are the silent killers of progress. They don't announce themselves loudly, and they often start innocently enough, but over time, they compound and undermine your potential. Unlike good habits, which build you up and move you closer to your goals, bad habits have a sneaky way of dragging you backward, eroding the very foundation you're trying to build. While success is often a result of consistent, deliberate actions, failure is just as often the result of neglecting those small, negative behaviors that add up over time. The danger of bad habits lies in their ability to take root without notice, quietly sabotaging your success. One of the most common bad habits that derail progress is procrastination. It may seem harmless to delay a task for a few hours or even a day, but over time, the habit of putting things off becomes a powerful force that prevents you from achieving your goals. Procrastination steals your time and causes unnecessary stress, leading you to rush through tasks at the last minute. The more you give in to procrastination, the more you reinforce the idea that you can't trust yourself to follow through, and this lack of self-discipline weakens your ability to take consistent, focused action. Another bad habit that holds many people back is the habit of negative self-talk. The words you speak to yourself have a profound impact on your mindset and your behavior. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, that you'll never succeed, or that things will never change, you reinforce those beliefs and create a self-fulfilling prophecy. Negative self-talk erodes your confidence and keeps you stuck in a cycle of self-doubt and fear. When you don't believe in your own potential, you won't take the risks necessary for growth, and you won't put in the effort needed to reach your full potential. Bad habits related to time management can also be incredibly damaging. If you have a habit of being disorganized, missing deadlines, or constantly running behind, you will never make meaningful progress toward your goals. Time is one of the most precious resources we have, and once it's gone, we can't get it back. The habit of wasting time or failing to prioritize effectively prevents you from focusing on the things that truly matter. You'll find yourself stuck in a never-ending cycle of busy work without ever making significant progress toward your bigger objectives. The habit of avoiding discomfort is another silent enemy of progress. Many people have an inherent desire to avoid pain or difficulty, but this tendency can stop you from growing. Success requires pushing through challenges, stepping out of your comfort zone, and confronting fears and obstacles head on. When you develop the habit of avoiding discomfort, you rob yourself of the opportunity to learn, improve, and ultimately succeed. The very discomfort that you seek to avoid is often where the greatest lessons and breakthroughs lie. Inconsistent effort is another habit that can derail progress. Many people start strong, full of enthusiasm and excitement, but after a few weeks or months, they lose momentum and fall back into old habits. This lack of consistency prevents you from building the momentum that is necessary for long-term success. Success is rarely achieved in bursts of effort. It's built over time through steady, consistent action. When you allow inconsistency to take over, you undo the progress you've made, and you often feel frustrated, wondering why you can't seem to get ahead. A habit of avoiding responsibility can also severely hinder your progress. When you blame others or external circumstances for your failures, you give away your power to change your situation. The truth is, we are responsible for our own success. When you take full ownership of your actions and their consequences, you empower yourself to make positive changes. Avoiding responsibility, on the other hand, keeps you trapped in a mindset of helplessness. You won't take the necessary actions to improve your situation if you're constantly pointing the finger at others. Indulging in unhealthy habits such as overeating, excessive drinking, or not getting enough rest can also derail your progress. These habits weaken your body, mind, and spirit, leaving you drained and unable to perform at your best. Your physical health plays a significant role in your ability to be productive and focused. If you develop the habit of neglecting your health, you won't have the energy, clarity, or resilience needed to tackle the challenges that come with pursuing your goals. These unhealthy habits don't just affect your physical state, they also impact your mental and emotional well-being, making it harder to stay motivated and positive. Another common bad habit that holds people back is the habit of seeking instant gratification. In a world where we have easy access to entertainment, food, and material goods, it can be tempting to give in to the urge for quick rewards. However, these immediate pleasures are often short-lived and come at the expense of long-term goals. The habit of seeking instant gratification leads to poor decision-making and a lack of self. It prevents you from making the sacrifices necessary to achieve lasting success and can create a cycle of temporary pleasure followed by regret and unfulfilled goals. Finally, the habit of surrounding yourself with negative influences can be incredibly detrimental to your progress. The people you associate with have a profound impact on your mindset, your behaviors, and your ability to achieve success. If you spend time with individuals who are negative, complacent, or unsupportive, their attitudes will begin to rub off on you. You may find yourself doubting your abilities, losing motivation, or even adopting some of their negative habits. The key to breaking free from this cycle is to consciously choose the people you allow into your life. Surround yourself with individuals who challenge you, support you, and inspire you to become the best version of yourself. The cumulative impact of these bad habits can be devastating to your progress. They create roadblocks that prevent you from moving forward and drain your energy, time, and resources. The more you indulge in these negative behaviors, the more you reinforce the belief that success is out of reach. However, the good news is that bad habits can be broken. It takes time, awareness, and effort, but by replacing bad habits with positive, productive ones, you can begin to reverse the damage and set yourself back on the path to success. Success is not a one-time event, nor is it the result of a single act of brilliance. It is built over time, shaped by consistent effort and a series of deliberate actions. Many people mistakenly believe that success comes from a burst of inspiration, a stroke of luck, or a single pivotal moment. The truth is, success is the product of the daily, unwavering effort you put into your goals. It is the result of showing up time and time again, even when things feel difficult or when the rewards aren't immediately apparent. Consistency is the cornerstone of any achievement, and without it, all the talent, intelligence, and ambition in the world will amount to little. At the heart of consistent effort lies the ability to keep moving forward even when progress feels slow. It's easy to become discouraged when the fruits of your labor aren't visible in the early stages. People often give up too soon, believing that because they don't see immediate results, their efforts aren't making a difference. But in reality, every small action compounds over time. The key is to trust the process and understand that growth happens incrementally. Every day you choose to keep going, you are building momentum, even if it doesn't feel like it. It's this momentum that eventually propels you towards success, but only if you remain consistent. Consistency requires discipline and focus. It's easy to get distracted by the noise of life, the immediate demands of others, and the pull of fleeting pleasures. However, success demands that you prioritize your goals and stay focused on the bigger picture. The habit of showing up, even on days when motivation is low, is what separates those who achieve success from those who don't. Success isn't about waiting for the perfect moment or for your motivation to peak. It's about committing to the process day in and day out. Every decision you make to stay focused on your goals, even when it's tough, is a step closer to your desired outcome. In the pursuit of success, there will be setbacks. There will be moments of doubt, times when things don't go as planned or when failure knocks you down. But consistent effort is about resilience. It's about bouncing back from setbacks and continuing to push forward regardless of the obstacles in your path. Those who succeed understand that failure is not the end, but a necessary part of the journey. They don't let setbacks discourage them. Instead, they learn from them and use them as fuel to keep going. Consistency in the face of adversity is a powerful force that ultimately leads to long-term success. One of the most powerful aspects of consistent effort is the development of discipline. Discipline is the ability to keep going even when it's hard, even when distractions abound. It's the strength to stay committed to your goals when it would be easier to quit or take a shortcut. Discipline ensures that you remain focused even on the days when your enthusiasm fades. It's the force that keeps you on track even when you'd rather do something else. The more you practice discipline, the more ingrained it becomes in your daily routine. Over time, discipline becomes second nature, and it is the driving force behind all your accomplishments. Building a habit of consistent effort requires a shift in mindset. Rather than focusing solely on the end result, you need to shift your attention to the process. It's about embracing the journey, knowing that success isn't just about achieving your goals, but about who you become in the process. Consistent effort is a mindset that celebrates progress no matter how small. Each day you're building character, developing resilience, and refining your skills. The path to success is not a straight line. It's filled with twists and turns, highs and lows. But it's the daily effort, the commitment to keep moving forward that makes all the difference in the long run. Consistency also teaches the power of habit. Successful people don't rely on bursts of energy or inspiration to carry them through. Instead, they build systems and routines that make their efforts automatic. When consistency becomes a habit, it removes the need for willpower. Your actions are no longer dependent on fluctuating motivation. They are built into your daily routine. This is why many high achievers emphasize the importance of developing positive habits. Habits create a structure that supports your goals and allows you to make progress without constantly having to make decisions about what to do next. The beauty of habit is that over time, it frees you from the mental load of decision making, enabling you to maintain consistent effort without burning out. Success also requires an understanding that consistency doesn't mean perfection. There will be days when things don't go according to plan, when mistakes are made, or when progress seems to stall. But consistency is about returning to your efforts, no matter how many times you stumble. It's about getting back up after a failure and continuing with the same commitment you had before. Perfection is unattainable, and striving for it can be paralyzing. But consistent effort allows for imperfection, for learning, and for growing. The key is not to let temporary setbacks or mistakes define your journey, but to keep moving forward with the same dedication as before. Consistency is also about building the right foundation. Success doesn't happen in a vacuum. It is the result of the habits, systems, and actions you put in place. Without a solid foundation, no amount of effort will bring lasting success. This foundation is built on small, repeated actions that align with your goals. Whether it's dedicating time to your personal development, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, or staying on top of your responsibilities, these small actions are the building blocks of long-term success. When you commit to consistent effort, you are laying the groundwork for everything that follows. Consistent effort creates a sense of purpose and fulfillment. The journey towards success is not always easy, but it is incredibly rewarding. Each step you take, each small effort you make, adds up to something greater than yourself. When you remain consistent in your efforts, you align your actions with your purpose, and this alignment brings a deep sense of fulfillment. The pursuit of success is about more than just the end goal. It's about the satisfaction that comes from knowing you are working towards something meaningful. Consistency gives you a sense of direction and purpose, making the journey not just about the destination, but about the person you are becoming along the way. Starting small is often the most powerful step you can take on the journey to success. Many people hesitate to begin because they feel overwhelmed by the scope of their goals or by the idea that they need to make a grand, sweeping change in their lives. The truth is, the most significant transformations start with the smallest, simplest actions. When you break down a large goal into manageable, bite-sized steps, it becomes less intimidating and more achievable. It's easy to become paralyzed by the magnitude of the task ahead, but by taking small steps, you begin to create momentum that propels you forward. The key to starting small is understanding that progress doesn't need to be dramatic in the beginning. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that you must do something monumental to make a difference. But the truth is, the most powerful changes often begin with the simplest actions. If you want to get in shape, don't worry about running a marathon right away. Start with a short walk or a few minutes of exercise each day. If you want to build a successful business, don't think about launching a massive marketing campaign or hiring a large team right from the start. Begin by researching your market or by creating a simple business plan. Starting small allows you to focus on the process rather than getting overwhelmed by the big picture. Starting small also allows you to gain experience and build confidence. When you begin with small, achievable tasks, you build the momentum needed to take on larger challenges as you go. For example, if you've never exercised before, starting small might mean setting aside just 10 minutes a day for physical activity. As you become more comfortable and confident, you'll naturally increase the time and intensity of your workouts. The same principle applies to any area of life. Small wins along the way build your confidence and encourage you to continue pushing forward. It's the small, consistent actions that lead to the bigger victories. There is power in starting now. Procrastination is one of the most common barriers to success, and it's often rooted in fear, fear of failure, fear of not being good enough, or fear of not knowing where to start. But the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to take that first step. Waiting for the perfect moment or the right time often results in paralysis by analysis, leaving you stuck in a cycle of inaction. The truth is, there will never be a perfect time to begin, and waiting for the stars to align only delays your progress. Starting now means committing to taking action today, no matter how small that action might seem. The beauty of starting now is that it doesn't require perfection. You don't need to have everything figured out to take the first step. It's natural to have doubts and questions when you start something new, but the act of starting is what matters most. When you take action, you begin to learn and adapt. You'll figure things out along the way, and you'll gain valuable insights and experiences that you wouldn't have had if you'd stayed stuck in the planning phase. The journey to success is rarely linear, and it's often through trial and error that we learn the most. Starting now means embracing imperfection and trusting that you can learn and grow as you move forward. Starting small and starting now also builds discipline. Discipline is the ability to continue taking action even when things get difficult or when motivation wanes. When you commit to starting with small actions and doing them consistently, you develop the discipline necessary to stay the course. It's much easier to stay disciplined when your goals are broken down into manageable pieces. Rather than feeling overwhelmed by a massive to-do list or a daunting long-term goal, you can focus on completing one small task at a time. This sense of progress keeps you motivated and reinforces the habit of consistent effort. When you start small, you also make room for flexibility. Many people resist starting because they feel that their plans need to be perfect from the outset. But the reality is, things rarely go exactly as planned. Starting small gives you the flexibility to make adjustments along the way. As you progress, you will inevitably encounter unexpected challenges, and your original plan may need to evolve. Starting with smaller, manageable tasks allows you to be more agile, adjusting as needed without losing momentum. It also reduces the pressure to have everything figured out in advance, making the process less intimidating and more sustainable. Small actions compound over time. One of the most powerful aspects of starting small is the way small, consistent efforts compound and lead to significant results. If you read just 10 pages of a book every day, you'll read dozens of books over the course of a year. If you save a small amount of money each week, you'll gradually build a substantial savings fund. These small incremental actions might not seem like much in the short term, but over time, they accumulate and create substantial change. Success doesn't come from doing one big thing. It comes from doing many small things consistently over time. Starting small also teaches you patience. In a world that often celebrates instant gratification, it's easy to forget that real, lasting success takes time. By starting small, you allow yourself the opportunity to build things at a sustainable pace. It's easy to burn out when you try to do too much too quickly. Starting small and taking it one step at a time gives you the space to build your foundation and stay focused on the long-term vision. Patience is a vital component of success, and when you embrace it, you allow yourself to grow in a way that is both fulfilling and sustainable. Starting small and starting now instills a sense of ownership and control over your future. When you take action, no matter how small, you regain control of your circumstances. Waiting for external factors or waiting for everything to be perfect means putting your success in the hands of things you can't control. But when you start now, you take full responsibility for your progress. Each small step you take is a choice to move forward, and it's a choice that puts you in the driver's seat of your journey. The more you take ownership of your actions and decisions, the more empowered you become to shape your future.